I have been separated from my ex for a little bit over a year, and really my whole life kind of changed at that point.
This is not my first heartbreak by any means, but I found myself really struggling with this one. This breakup seemed on a higher level. It seemed like we were meant to be.
We weren't married for very long, but we were together for about 7 years. We were married for about a year, and there was some things happening like infidelity and stuff. So it really just came at a big shock to me. Kind of felt like I had my life all kind of figured out and where I was going, and then it kind of turned upside down. That was really confusing for people to understand. It's like, well, why are you struggling with this so much?
And I'm not a spiritual person by any means, but this felt like a connection that I couldn't deny, and that was not something that was just by chance. It felt like it was fate.
One day and blamed me for cheating, and I didn't. And everybody says, when somebody blames you, it's usually them. But it kind of threw me for a loop. Now, and I'm a pretty strong-willed, strong person, and it just threw me completely into a tailspin. And I didn't know what I was going to do.
And one night I was struggling to fall asleep, couldn't fall asleep, and I just happened to Google how to get over heartbreak. Again, like I've never done that or tried that before. um, and Google led me to an ad that brought me to Circles, and I saw what it was and signed up for the little free trial. Um, and then immediately got into a room and I started to hear stories that were very similar to mine.
I went on Circles and I met people, and their stories were all very similar to mine. Not completely similar, but same.
And it was terrifying. I could not understand how so many people were sitting in a room that had the same exact story that I did, and they clearly did not date my ex.
I really just felt like I didn't have a lot of people, but when I came on Circles, just people that had a lot of similar stories that from the things I've dealt with, and just understanding that like it is a loss. Like some days, I feel like I'm doing really well, and then there's some days that I get back in that space, but there's no timeline for grief. And I think that just knowing that like losing somebody, even though they're still here. They're not, they didn't die or anything. It's still like you're grieving the life you thought you had, that person, that relationship. There's so many different aspects to it. So just being able to be in a supportive space where we're all sharing that and sharing our experiences has really helped with my healing process.